Good morning and welcome on this beautiful sunny September morning. In fact, it's so beautiful and sunny you can see all the shadows falling across my desk, but we'll take that as a blessing as we welcome this sort of early autumn sunshine on this morning. So hello and thank you for joining us, those of you that have come on to say hello. Now this is my first time back at my craft desk for a week. I've just had a week off, so we didn't go anywhere, we didn't go away, we were sort of holidaying from home. We had a day out and a couple of nice sort of a picnic, and so morning Em, morning Jackie had a picnic out, and we had a afternoon tea out, and then we had a day out, so we had a few little outings out, but we're back at my craft desk. So it's a bit like, oh, what should we do today? Crafting, let's get back to that. So what I have picked is a new stamp set that I actually had arrive in a delivery last week, and I was really good in that I only opened it, I never even took that out the box. But it is this Life is Beautiful stamp set, and it's a gorgeous stamp set. And it is one that has been, if ever you see this sort of little sign here, either in your catalogue or on a stamp set itself, it means that it's been designed by a demonstrator who has reached their million sales, $1 million sales. So this million sales achiever is Leanne Greff. And she got her millions in sales and then got to help design a stamp set, and this is the stamp set that she designed, and it is really beautiful. Look at the detail on that tree, and then you get sort of like these splodgy ones, this splodgy stamp, a leaf stamp, some snowflakes, a little birdhouse, and some greetings. Life is beautiful, thinking of you, hello. And it's really lovely. You can see here on the samples how you can sort of take it all through the year. So whether you want to use the blobs as blossom, whether you want your leaves to be summery green or autumn shades, it's entirely up to you. So really lovely stamp set. So that's what we're going to have a play with this morning. I'm doing okay, thank you Caroline, and good morning to you too. So let's have a bit of a play with Life is Beautiful. Now, I need to get myself, we need a trunk colour. Let's have a trunk colour. Let's go soft suede. Let's have a soft suede trunk. Let's dig out some Whisper White card. I'm moving my trolley very carefully because I have put my I've just put lots of water into my Simply Chamois because, as you can imagine, it was rock solid. So I'm just trying to soften that up a little bit. So I'm going to cut a piece of Whisper White. I'm going to cut it 13.9 by 9.5, but I might actually die cut a shape out of it eventually. But that's a good place to start. Morning Beryl, hope everyone's doing okay. Right, so this is actually a photopolymer stamp set. It is actually a really reasonably priced stamp set. It's £16 this stamp set. So gorgeous big tree. In fact, yeah, I'm going to need the biggest block. So Stamper Artist might be the way to go if you find handling these big blocks a challenge. So, as I say, a really good size. So that we cut that piece of card to 9.5 by 13.9, and you can see that tree almost fills it. So a really good sized tree. No, we already decided that that block wasn't big enough. We needed this one. There we go. Let's pick that up. And let's ink it up with our soft suede. Tap, tap, tap all the way over there. I've got my pierce mat underneath. That's just about, those branches are just about fitting in there. Just really lovely detail, sort of that line, those lines that are running through that trunk. Beautiful. So, excuse me while I just throw my water outside the back door. Now got a nice soft pliable Simply chamois, and my pot outside the back door has been watered, so all good all round. Morning. Oh, hairdo, Vonnie, how exciting. Let's just give that a bit of a tap dry. I'm going to leave it on there for now because I don't think I should want that big block for anything else. And then we're going to play with some leaves, and I thought that this morning we'd do a bit of a baby wipe technique. Always good fun, and we'll do some autumn leaves, seeing as that's the season that we're heading into. Morning, Robin. Have I caught everybody, Beryl? Lovely to see you here. Right, so I'm going to fold my baby wipe into 4, I think, to give ourselves a little baby wipe pad there. And I've got it onto just into a little plastic tray. I've picked up some rich raspberry. Put some spots of rich raspberry. Some crushed curry, some Cajun craze, and some garden green. Just because we can. Right, so we've got a real mixed bag of colours on there. So I'm going to take the leaf stamp. Let's see which block that will go onto. That will fit quite nicely onto there. And let's just mix that up a bit. And have those there. Pretty, pretty. Those coming in there. I think I want my tree to have a few more leaves on. Lovely. And then I think we'll have a few scattered about the bottom here. There, there's some really pretty autumnal shades there. And obviously, oh, hi Angie, hi Doreen. It's funny, isn't it, Robin, how we sort of forget these things and suddenly go, oh, baby wipe technique. So you could make multicoloured leaves by colouring direct to your stamp with your markers. But this does give you sort of those options for lots of different tones. And obviously you can go on, and as long as your baby wipe stays moist, you're going to be able to carry on and create more leaves and things with it. The other thing, of course, you can do is then use your baby wipe and swipe it down a piece of cardstock. So if you've got some of those sort of stitched leaves and things, you could swipe that down your piece of cardstock when you finish stamping your leaves, get a multicoloured piece of cardstock and then die cut autumn leaves from it. I've not yet got that stitched leaf set. That would be beautiful to do that with. What am I looking for? I think I was wondering whether to go for a stitched label, but I don't know that I want to. I might possibly go with that stitched rectangle like that. So let me just run that through there and we'll get a nice stitched rectangle. Of course, the other thing the baby wipe technique gives you is this sort of quite a soft image. Almost watercolory in effect. So that's that stitched. What colour shall we back that with? Asian craze might be quite fun. So let's come up a size with our dies, and I'm going to cut a piece of stitched Cajun craze. Thank you, Angie, for sharing. You are a treasure, as always. Do feel free to share these videos out. Let's reach the world. Let's tell the world about baby wipe techniques and autumn leaves. Or obviously you could just change up your colours, and you could do exactly the same technique but use perhaps some pinks and things, and have a blossom or lilacs, or a mixture of pink and lilac, sort of Highland heather and petal pink. That would be quite pretty, wouldn't it? There we go. Now let me look. Have I got... Nope, I've not got a card base sitting in the back there, so let's create ourselves one. So let's cut this. We're going to cut our cardstock in half, which for our A4 card is 14.9. And we're going to score it in half at 10.5. Obviously, if you're elsewhere in the world, that will look a little bit different. I think what else we'll do is, we don't want to waste our pretty ink and leaves. Oh, I've buried them. Morning, Pam. So let's come back into our baby wipe and let's give ourselves a border, top and bottom, of our autumnal leaves. Morning, Jackie. So there we are, we've given our card a border, top and bottom. We've got our tree on its Cajun craze background. Just going to sit that to one side in a minute. I'm going to actually take this baby wipe. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Look at my mat underneath there, that's quite pretty, isn't it? I'm just going to take my baby wipe and I am going to smush my card, just so that you can, if you weren't sure what I meant by smushing, using your baby wipe and using it to smush down your card. Look at that, that would be quite fun, wouldn't it? So as I say, if I'd have got those stitched leaves, they'd be really beautiful die cut with that, but I might die cut some leaves with that later. But that's really fun, isn't it? So that's just not wasting your baby wipe. In fact, there's still more there. I could do a complete card with that. I could perhaps go back the other way and make it crisscross if I wanted to. But yeah, don't waste your baby wipe once you've made your leaves. Look, and you get pretty patterns on your mat too. So now we need a greeting on here. What shall we have? We have thinking of you, hello, life is beautiful. I think we'll perhaps go thinking of you. And I was going to pick out another of the colours that we've used. I'm going to go rich raspberry actually. We'll put thinking of you in here. And to stick those two mats together. I'm going to pick up some linen thread. I think I need a slightly longer tail on that. Let's just pull that a little bit. Bring it down here. It's curly. Just need to run it through your fingers to get it less curly, which is obviously easier if you've actually cut a piece off of the spool, which I haven't done. Let's bring that down there. And then let's tie this in a bow. We'll have a bit of a tweak with that in a minute. Let's snip that off. Then let's add that on with some dimensionals. Dimensionals need to be on my next shopping list. Because big ones would certainly have been better with this one. Hey ho, I might find some somewhere if I dig about. But for now, that is fine. Morning, Anita. Now, do we want that on an angle? Angle that way, straight. Quite like it on an angle, but I think if I'm going to do it on an angle, just want to add in a few more leaves there, because I can. There we go. In the September sunshine, we have a nice the shadows on there. We can't complain. That means the sun is a-shining. It's going to be a beautiful day. So that's that one. So we've got a bit of an autumn card going on. I think we'll also do a bit of a snowy one. And let's just clean up the leaves. And pop those away. Oh, we could put a little birdhouse on there, couldn't we? Oh. Do we think we'll get away with it? Will it stamp? Would it be quite cute to have a little birdhouse on there, wouldn't it? Oh, let's go for it. Let's live dangerously. What colour shall we do our birdhouse? Actually, might do that in rich raspberry as well, so that it, fingers crossed, we're taking a gamble. Beautiful, gamble paid off. We're living dangerously this morning. Make a great little new home card, wouldn't it, with the two little birds in their bird house. And of course you don't have to have the whole tree. We could have gone with a sort of smaller rectangle and just had the top half of the tree. But where were we? We were about to do a Christmassy one before my mind wandered. Look how this is drying. It's really rather subtle and beautiful. Pop that to one side so I can use it in a little bit. Right, I'm thinking... I think we'll go right. I'm deciding whether to go Misty Moonlight or Night of Navy. I think I'm going to go Night of Navy because I think I want the darker blue. Let's pop the lid on the rich raspberry and move those re-inkers out of the way. And I've got some embossing powder all ready and waiting in the wings because I think we're going to do some heat embossing. those dies over to one side so they're ready to go. And let's that is a very small piece. Let's find a bigger piece. And let's make this again. I think we're going to go 13.9 by 9.5 because that means we can have a bit of a border going on. And we'll take our big tree and oh no, birthmark. Saddle brown stays on really won't do the trick. I thought I'd got to the bottom of the pile without finding the birthmark, and that must be it, but it wasn't. It was saddle brown stays on, and that really won't work for this. So let's bring back in our piercing mat, and let's ink up. Let's just give that a bit of a rub so we're not picking up any static. And let's ink this up with some Versamark. And about there, I think. Morning, Debs. And let's stamp our tree. So you might just about be able to see that. It shows up relatively well. Now I'm thinking we're going to do our tree trunk in silver embossing powder. Because, well, why not? We've got a little bit there that's possibly excess to what we require. And lose that. And then we'll heat our tree. Get my heat tool nice and hot. And then we will heat up that embossing powder. Morning, Glenda. And watch that all turn. Right, is that all nice and shiny? I think it is. So we've got a nice silver tree trunk. But then I thought for the leaves we would heat emboss again, but I thought we'd go in with white. We're not going to have leaves, we're going to have snowflakes. We'll have a snowflakey tree. Let's get all these little snowflakes. Or a tree of snowflakes. A snowflake tree. Obviously these little snowflake stamps and leaf stamps will be incredibly useful in their own right. We'll perhaps see. Let's put some embossing powder on those to see where they are going to go. That's pretty, isn't it? I think possibly I'm going to put another one in there just to round that up at the top a little bit. Ooh. Got a little one there that's lost some of it. Okay, let's heat that up. The birds are all very busy at the bird feeder this morning. Got a little robin out here. Got a little dove that's got a bit of a poorly foot, and the other doves keep bullying it. Meanies. Just catching that in the light to see if we've got them all. I think possibly not that one there. They're looking as if they're nice and shiny. Isn't that pretty? A snowflake tree. That would make a really nice Christmas card. So let me have a look. So I'm just looking at the snowflake one to see if what Merry Christmas. How big do we want to go? That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Thinking of you at Christmas. And I think we'll go in with white on that one as well. Just going to give that a bit of a brush. Morning, Sarah. Morning, Carol. Oh, glad you're at home, Karen. It's funny, isn't it? We were during lockdown. It was like, oh, it'd be good not to be at home just for 5 minutes, but it's still nice to come home if if you've had to be away. And I know you've been looking after people that are poorly, or you're worried about. That's even more of a stress. We are thinking of you at Christmas. Now then, do we want to go with just a smidge of a or should we go with a bit of silver? A bit of silver would be fun, wouldn't it? Let's have a bit of silver foil in there. Right, so I'm going to cut my silver foil so it is 10 by 14.4. But obviously I'm not going to leave that sitting in the middle there unseen and wasted, so let's gut that centerpiece foil so we've got it, not being anything too technical really. I haven't necessarily measured that, I've just taken a bit out of the middle so that I've got a middle. Oh bless her, Karen, such a worry. No fun for her and a worry for you. Right, let's create a card base out of here. Is it the right size? Yes, it is. 14.9 that way, so let's just score it at 10.5 this. That's very pretty. Now, we want a bit of a ribbon. Possibly not very Christmassy, so perhaps not. We have got, not used my So Many Snowflakes set yet. We have got the So Many Snowflakes set that has these rather nice snowflakes in. Is that going to be too much? Yes, I think it is. Oh, that one might not be. Let's cut one of these from silver foil. I think I've got some little bits somewhere. So I'm going to cut some foil snowflakes. Just as sort of a embellishment to add on. The other thing I have got that I could possibly use, actually that might be quite nice, is we have the snowflake sequins that carried over. might be quite fun because we could add some of these in on here as well. Let me cut a snowflake and we'll decide whether we want that or not. It won't go to waste. I'm sure there will be many opportunities for little silver snowflakes going forward if we don't want it today. It's very pretty. I'm not sure that we want it on there, but it is very pretty. I'm going to put it in my box, in my snowflake packet, so that it's ready to use another day. And let's go with some little snowflakey sequins. So I'm going to sprinkle some. 3, 4, 5. Let's start with 5 and see how we go. Where did you go, little spots of blue? One there. Took my eye off the ball there a minute. One there. Come on, did 5. There's one. Might actually put some of these more sparkly holographic ones on there. Ah, yes, that was one. Don't know whether there's enough there now to add some more in. Let's just sprinkle some down here so we can see what we've got. One there. One there. One there. And then we'll put a few on the other side. It's attached to me. I want to be on the card, I want to be on your finger. 1, 2, 3. What I should do really is find my little picky up tooly thing. Actually, I think I'm going to go with these little silver rings because they really do give it a bit of sparkle. 1, 2, and then let's have a sequiny one. 3. There we are, we've got lots of little glimmers of sparkle and shimmer and shine in there now. I haven't got the new die cutting machine yet, no, Caroline. It is very much on my wish list. And as soon as budget allows, I will be adding that in. And I think you're right, I think we do need a few little snowflakes on the bottom there. When I find what safe place I've put my snowflakes in. good. I've heard lots of good things about it, Angie, which is why, despite the fact that I've got lots of big shots, I still want to get my hands on one. Well, apart from that, it's because I can't demonstrate it to you lovely people if I haven't got one. We have some blobs there. Let's find a... Let's find a paintbrush. What went on with you just there? Why so many blobs? That might be a... very blobby, didn't it? Never mind, we can add in a few little sequins when we're finished. So let's just grab a few more of these little sequins and we'll scatter some of these around where we've got little blobs and things down here. Off you go. Fly free little sequin. And I think we'll also have you down there too. And then we'll have a couple of little sequins down this side as well. We'll have a star and a circle one. Ooh. And another little snowflake. There we go. Yes. I think it's one of those things that, you know, obviously for me, I'm in a different situation. As a demonstrator, I really, really want to have one of the new machines so that I can demonstrate it. But the Big Shot is a good machine. And whatever machine you have, you're still able to use our dies and folders and make the most of those. But I have heard so many good things about the machine. People are really loving it. And the big feedback that I'm hearing is, as Angie said, about how easy it is to use, the ease of turning it, that whole sort of cranking mechanism is really good. And I can't wait for the baby one to come out. That will be a complete bonus. Right. Let's have that sitting on there. So we've raised that top level up a little bit. So there we have shiny, snowflakey Christmas tree. I need to get my rubber out on that. And that goes alongside our Babywipe Technique multicoloured autumn tree. So one simple little stamp set A really reasonably priced stamp set. Let's just use my eraser just there and get rid of those gluey marks. So a little tree stamp set that's going to take you through the season, because obviously, as I say, there's spring cards, and I've seen some really lovely cards where people have sort of stamped trees in all 4 seasons and then cut them into strips and made them sort of as a going through the season card. They look really effective. Be really lovely to use as a home decor piece, to have a tree in each corner for each of the 4 seasons. So a really, really lovely stamp set. So if that's one that you want to add to your collection, I will put the link to the shop, thank you Sarah, at the top of the video once I edit it in a moment. But yeah, so thank you for joining me, coming back to play after my week off. I will be back on Friday to play again, and keep watching the Facebook page and the YouTube channel and Pinterest and blog posts and Instagram and all of those things throughout the week for lots more inspiration. So lovely to be back, and see you all soon.